finding your support system. I had a strong colleague of mine. We had worked together for 10 years. We were a team all the way through, so I was very, very fortunate to have her. This was something that we had wanted to do for quite a long time, just as a personal achievement, the next step for us. And we went through the pre-candidacy class together, and then we were just there, pretty much. We were a team.
There are absolutely parts of this process you can do alone, and there's parts that you have to do alone because it is about your practice alone. But just like anything that we do, there are some things that you have to get help with. There comes a point in anything that we're doing where it's time to get help. And help doesn't necessarily mean help me. Help, please help. Help means let's have some conversations. You know, when you're going through the national board process, the language, the directions, it's ambiguous. It is meant for you to talk about the meanings of the words, to find the meaning of all the different vocabulary and the questions and the standards in the core props. But the way that you kind of find your definition to that is by having conversations with other people and hearing things you've never thought about before and taking all of that in a collection together and then making your own idea of what it means.
We had Saturdays at the library. That was a consistent date for us. And then once, I would say probably January rolled around, it turned into working at home individually, but we would call each other and say, you know, how's this going? Or I'm stuck here, but we were committed to working. So for 10 years, I would go to her a lot. I knew her strengths, and I think she knew mine also. And so our professional conversations really evolved into highlighting those strengths with each other and being very honest within myself and saying, this is where I'm at, this is where I've taken this student, and I don't know where else to go.
I mean, with people who have gone through National Board, whether they haven't gone through, they're thinking about it, or they're just my best friends that went through it with me, we now have conversations that are about kids and about learning and about teaching in our classroom, and they're so deep and rich and fun at the same time.
I had a facilitator where I know in Arizona, most teachers do have a facilitator to lead you through the process, and she was an excellent support system.
Can I just say holy support? Seriously. Can you imagine a football team that doesn't have any fans until they find out if they win or not? I mean, what fun is that? You need the cheerleaders out there. You need the people out there telling you, yes, you can do this. And when you hit those lulls where you say, okay, I just don't know if I'm going to be able to finish. I'm looking at my timeline. I'm looking at how much work. I just don't think I can. And then you meet with a colleague, you meet with your principal, you meet with someone in your small group meeting, and they kind of give you back that, yes, I can do this. Okay, let's set a plan. Let's set some smaller goals. Anybody that I could to give me feedback was going to help me know what I wanted to keep in there. Because when you hear feedback that sounds right, you kind of know what you want to go back and change. When you hear feedback that doesn't sound right, it almost made me feel more confident in the places where I had written evidence.
Whatever was inside of you when you decided to look into this process, to commit to this process, it's going to be that same strength that will get you through it. And whether you have a colleague with you going through it, or a family member that believes in what you're doing and is familiar with the process, whoever that is, it's going to be the strength that comes inside is going to be your main support system.
Everybody seems to feel like, especially at this halfway point in your process, everyone feels like they're hitting a wall at some point in time. It's such a roller coaster of emotions throughout the year. But then again, what school year really isn't? It's all a great big roller coaster of feeling effective and feeling like you're making a difference, and then days that you really feel like you wonder what brought you to this profession in the first place. So you should expect to hit a wall, but it's at times like that that you should be seeking out the support from your colleagues and from other National Board certified teachers and from your next door neighbor, your administrator, from the Arizona K-12 Center.